Tonight on Paige's Kitchen, we're making a very fast, very easy fruit sauce. How do you use the fruit sauce? Well, you could stir it in your yogurt. You could put it on oatmeal in the morning. You could also put it on ice cream in the evening, or anywhere, pancakes, waffles, you name it, anywhere that you would like to add something fruity to it, or on some goat cheese. So in case you're wondering, why am I using frozen peaches? Well, right now I find that peaches don't have a lot of flavor because they're not in their peak season, but I know these peaches were frozen when they were at their peak flavor, so that's why I'm using those. This is a 10-ounce bag, and I'm going to add it to this pot. They're still frozen, so no need to even take the time to thaw them out. What will I be adding to it? I'll be adding some vanilla flavoring, about a teaspoon, and again, for recipes like this, I really don't measure. I'll have the exact recipe for you online, but I think sometimes we try to overthink things and make things too complicated, and this is just a fruit sauce, so make it your own. I'm using my Strawn's local honey. This will be I need about 3 tablespoons in here. This will add just a little bit of sweetness, but it's not like adding a lot of sugar to it, which I like that also. Be adding a little bit of cinnamon. You could also make this, also is really wonderful. You make it with blueberries. We have great blueberry crops here in Florida. So I'll be adding a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of salt to kick up the flavors a little bit. And then I have my canning jars over here, and I'll be putting this in the canning jar, and this will last for up to a week in the refrigerator, or up to 3 months if you want to put it in the freezer. So I'm going to take this over to the stove now, put it on medium high, and you will hear the peaches will start to sizzle a little bit because they're still frozen, and they'll slowly break down. So I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment. As you can see, it's starting to break down. If you'd wanted to speed up this process, you could have put these in when they were thawed out instead of frozen, but I just want to keep a good stir on these. And if at some point you think they're looking a little too dry, you can always add a little bit more honey. But it's starting, some of them, as you can see, are starting to get the consistency of applesauce. Once these all break totally down, I'm going to be adding some cornstarch in here and bringing it up to a boil and keep stirring it for about a minute. So this is not a dish that you want to put on the stove and then go start doing social media or start and let the dog out or anything else. Keep a watch on this because I don't want these peaches to burn. Okay, you can see this is totally almost broken down. I've still got a couple of big pieces of peaches in there, but I think I'm going to leave those so you can have a bite of peach in there. Normally I would be adding the cornstarch now to thicken this up, and you can see this is already the consistency of applesauce, so it doesn't need it. If the fruit had been more watery, then I definitely would have added the cornstarch to thicken it up, but I don't think this needs that. I think this is going to be fine to put on your toast or your yogurt or whatever. So sometimes when you're making things, use your judgment and think, you know what? I don't think I need to add that because this is definitely thick enough. So let's get this over to the counter and get this in a jar. Okay, I cooked this anywhere from probably about 10 to 12 minutes and just kept working it and kept spooning it. As you can see, I'm going to put it in this jar now. It is so thick that, once again, I didn't need to add the cornstarch on there. So if you were using blueberries or a type of fruit that has a lot of water in it, then you might need to use the cornstarch and thicken it up. But this is absolutely perfect. You can see it really is like applesauce. This is going to be awesome to put on your breakfast, or just eat it like right out of the jar. I'm going to take a taste of this now after it's all done. You can see it really doesn't make that much, so if you're going to take it to maybe as a gift from somewhere, I would suggest maybe doubling the recipe so you can make sure that you have a complete jar full. So I'm going to take one last taste of this, and remember that it just came off the oven, so it's very hot, but wow. That is just crazy delicious. It tastes like a peach pie without the crust, or a peach cobbler without all the things, because you're just getting this tremendous peach flavor. I really do hope you'll make this. I think your family will love it, and I think you'll love it. It's very easy to do. Recipe, wcgb.com. All right, everybody, come get a spoon.